For the best prices and service on Pokemon TCG singles and products, check out ccgcastle.com and use promo code Evolutionaries-5 for 5% off your next order.
What's up, guys? And here for today's Deck Tech Thursday, we're going to be trying out kind of a unique deck that I've been testing out for a little bit. And that is going to be Gallade with Zoroark. So, some of you might be familiar with the old Gallade Octillery deck. Well, this works very similarly to that, except with Zoroark's trade ability, you could draw every single turn instead of Octillery having to wait until you have less than 5. And not to mention, Zoroark GX is also one heck of an amazing attacker to go alongside with Gallade. So, Gallade's not going to be your only attacker unlike the Octillery version. So, definitely some upgrades there as well. And all in all, just in general, is a very unexpected deck that your opponent's not going to be immediately ready for. And this deck could just do so much damage. So, without me rambling on how amazing this is, I'll show you guys how amazing it is. So, first off, here we have 4 copies of Ralts. Very standard, want to get this little guy out as soon as possible. We have 3 copies of Kirlia. And you can mix and match them just to have a little fun. It really doesn't matter which Ralts and Kirlia you use. They can be 2 Psychic, 2 Fairy, all Psychic, or just whatever ratio you want. Whichever one of these you use doesn't matter, honestly. But here's the guy that matters. 3 copies of Gallade. He is a Stage 2 fighting Pokemon with 2 one cool ability and 1 amazing attack. His ability is Premonition. Once during your turn before you attack, you may look at the top 5 cards of your deck and put them back in any order you so choose. So that really comes in handy, especially when you mix it with Zoroark's trade-in. So you put 2 cards you see that you would want on top, use Zoroark's trade-in, boom, you get those cards immediately. And for double colors, it has the attack Sensitive Blade, does 60 damage. If you play a supporter this turn from your hand, you do 70 more damage. So 130 for just 2 colorless energy, and just about you play a support just about every turn anyways. But in this deck, we make sure we play a supporter every turn, no matter what the supporter is. So you're always going to be doing massive damage with this one non-EX or GX double colorless attack. So really, really good. So you're definitely going to be winning the price ratio with this guy here. Alright, now to get into the Zoroark half of it. Going to be running 4 copies of Zorua. Love this artwork that came in Shining Legends. Would love to use the promo if we had 4 of them. And we have 3 copies of Zoroark GX. And 1 copy of Standard Zoroark from Breakthrough. Alright, so as I said before, has the ability Trade. You could discard, once during your turn, you could discard a card from your hand and draw 2 cards. So, works really well with the Premonition. But there's a lot more cool things to this card than just its ability. For a double coast, it has the attack Riot is Beating. It does 20 damage for each of your Pokemon in play. So with a full bench and this guy in active, you're doing 120 damage, 150 with a choice band. So you're gonna be able to 2-shot just about anything. Same thing with Gallade, 1-shot or 2-shot. And hey, go figure, this guy is everywhere right now in the meta. So Gallade could definitely 1-shot an opposing Zoroark deck, no problem. And I run the 1 copy of the Breakthrough Zoroark just because stand-in is a really good ability. Guys, all of our Pokemon here have 2 retreat cost. So we really don't want to be getting rid of a double colorless just to retreat. So we want to give us as many options of free retreat as possible. Not to mention Mindjack is still an amazing attack. Does 10 damage and 30 more for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So if they have a full bench, you could easily hit them from 160, 190 with a choice band. So all in all, just an amazing attacker for just 1 prize. And same thing, double colors just like everything else in here. Everything here attacks for a double colorless. Alright. Next up here we have 3 copies of Tapu Lele. Supporters are everything in this deck. They're literally what boosts the power. So, what better way to have than to have a Pokemon that searches it? Not to mention, Tapu Lele is just the new meta right now, so Very, very good. Not to mention, again, double colorless. Does the attack energy drive, does 20 damage for each energy attached to both this type of Lele and your opponent's active Pokemon. You don't get to apply weakness, which is unfortunate, but resistance isn't applied as well. So if you're trying to hit, again, a Zoroark, you don't have to worry about its resistance to Psychic. So that's pretty good as well. And last for our Pokemon, we run one copy of Alolan Vulpix. Just in case we end up starting with him, he's a great way to get our Zoroarks and Gallades for next turn. So definitely a good addition there. And that will do it for the Pokemon lineup. And now for our supporter lineup. So first off here, we run 4 copies of N, along with 3 copies of Professor Sycamore. Now, and the reason I chose this ratio is because we're going to be discarding a lot as it is. So there's no reason for us to have any additional discarding that we don't need. So that's why I chose the ratio that I do, but if you disagree with this ratio, want to go 3 and 4 Sycamore, by all means. Alright, and now for probably one of the most important supporters of the deck, that is going to be Mallow. What Mallow allows you to do is search your deck for 2 cards, shuffle your deck to put those 2 cards on top of them in any order. So what you do is you play the Mallow for turn, boosting the Gallade's attack, and then after you get any 2 cards you want, you then use Zoroark's trade to discard a card from your hand and get those 2 cards immediately. So it's a really, really scary combo. So not only that you're doing massive damage, but you're going to get the exact cards from your deck that you want into your hand. So really, really good combo there. And what is probably one of the most broken supporters right now, one copy of Bridget. You search your deck for 1 basic EX, which doesn't really apply anymore, or 3 basic Pokemon, and put them onto your bench, which for stage, any sort of evolution deck, that's important because that gets out our Zoras and our Ralts as quick as possible. So, very, very good there. Just make room here for more supporters. Alright. Next up here, we run 3 of ya boy Guzma. Now, very, very great card here. You switch your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active. But there's also another reason I run him here. And as I was saying before, another reason is for more free retreat. So, you have to switch one of your active Pokemon with one of your bench when you play Guzma. But we run this guy here. So, even if we're in a situation where we wouldn't necessarily want to switch our active, we could easily just stand in and retreat with the Zoroark here, just to put back the Pokemon that we want. And again, as I said before, free retreat is amazing, because we do not want to discard double godless. And last up, for our supporter lineup is going to be a mother-son duo. 1 copy of Lusamine, and 1 copy of Gladion. Now, these are the 2 new supporters that just came in Crimson Invasion. What Gladion allows you to do is you look at your face-down prize cards and put 1 of them into your hand, then shuffle this Gladion back into your prizes. So, unfortunately, you don't take a prize with Gladion. Man, how broken would that be? But if you didn't play this Gladion from your hand, it does nothing. So Pokemon that like copy supporter effects from the discard pile cannot activate Gladion, which that would be too broken as well. And for the Lusamine, it's basically our VS Seeker for standard format. You can put 2 supporters or 2 stadiums, or any combination of 2 that you want from your discard pile into your hand. So, even though it's in supporter form, it's still a way to get supporters back from our discard into our hand. So, may not be as quick or as, what's the word I'm looking for, convenient as VS Seeker. It's the best we got for this format, so gotta make do with what we got. And that does it for the supporter lineup. Now for our items. Have here 4 copies of Ultra Ball, very standard. Search out any Pokemon we want. 4 copies of Choice Band, dealing 30 extra damage to GX and EX if they're still around. Other than Espeon EX, really. Still just an amazing card in general. Choice Band's probably one of the most broken cards that they ever printed in the Sun and Moon era, in my opinion. We're also going to be playing 3 copies of Rare Candy, just to go from Ralts into Gallade by turn 2, which we want to do as quick as possible we want to get everything set up ASAP in this deck. There we can just start the heavy damage immediately. So going to be running 2 copies of Floatstone. Mainly this is just to attach to our stand-in Zoroark so we can stand in and retreat for free. But if we have any Pokemon that are stuck in active that don't have a tool attached to them, and we really need them out of there, Floatstone's good for that as well. I have 2 copies of Special Charge because double colorless is everything in this deck. And when we lose them, we want to get them back. So definitely helps with that. 2 copies of Field Blower. Obvious reasons, getting rid of stadiums and tools is very good, especially against the Garbodor matchup. Ugh. I should have just thinking about that thing. 1 copy of Rescue Stretcher, just to get some Pokemon back that we need. And last but not least, 4 double colorless energy. Now this is all the energy I run in the deck. So you can see why I keep saying double colorless is everything, and why the 2 special charges are so necessary. So, if you guys enjoyed this awesome little deck profile here, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And come back tomorrow where I take on Professor K's Zoroark Decidueye deck in Battle Frontier Friday. Who will come on top? Hopefully me, but the past records tell a different story. Oh well, we'll do our best tomorrow and see what happens. This has been M with the Pokemon Evolutionaries, and I'll catch you guys later.